David Miliband, you're giving a lecture on this. Where do we go from here? Boris Johnson, Prime Minister, what does it actually mean for what kind of shape and form Brexit takes place?
Well, the worrying thing for all of us is that Boris Johnson continues to talk about a never land Brexit, a Brexit that really tries to put on the table things that have already been rejected. We saw overnight Mark Carney decisively rejecting the central plank of Boris Johnson's claim. He says we can use the GATT 24 article, and Mark Carney's made very, very clear that's only for countries that have a trade agreement. And so I think that what strikes me about the Conservative leadership campaign is it's not getting to grips with the reasons that we've had. I think you've called it paralysis. I call it frenetic paralysis. It's not that everyone's frozen in place. They're all running around in circles. And it seems to me that we depend on Jeremy Hunt and Boris Johnson raising and the real trade-offs that exist. Because anyone who pretends to you that we can go through the Brexit process without trade-offs is kidding you. There are only bad options on the table at the moment. My own view is that Brexit that is on offer is now so different from that which was offered in 2016 that it does need to go back to the people in the name of legitimacy as well as in the name of economic and social order. Because you know as well as I do, Britain's reputation has been severely tarnished by the political turmoil that's been associated with this. We know that investment is on hold right across many sectors of the economy, and we know that we're only at the beginning of the process. That's what I'm trying to emphasise in this LSE election today. We haven't got on to the difficult bits yet. The difficult bit is negotiating the future relationship with Europe. At the moment, we're only dealing with our past debts and what to do about European citizens as well as the Irish border.
Because it's unclear actually what the UK wants, right, which is what we were talking about and how the market sees this. Does the market prefer a second referendum or a general election?
I think the market would prefer a second referendum. It puts the prospect of us remaining in the EU back on the table, and obviously that would be brilliant. Whereas an election is so complicated. You could have the Brexit Party doing very well. You could have the Labour Party doing very well, which brings in other very different economic issues for the market to deal with. I mean, if I may just ask David a quick question: is it politically feasible for a leader of the Tory party to be honest with the electorate about the trade-offs of Brexit? Because to me, it doesn't seem to be feasible, given how the Brexit party is doing.
Is which electorate? Is it feasible for a Tory Prime Ministerial candidate to be honest with the 160,000 members who are going to decide on the future Prime Minister? Or maybe not. Is it essential that a new Prime Minister fesses up to the electorate more widely? I think that is essential. Because right from the beginning, when Theresa May said no deal is better than a bad deal, she set us on the course to the multiple unicorns that have dominated the last 3 years. And we're still no nearer getting that kind of clarity. I have to say, on the Labour side as well as the Tory side, Labour has its own version of unicorns that it's chasing.
So Jeremy Corbyn's position on Brexit was a mistake?
Well, it's nice of you to describe it as a position. I mean, I think some people would struggle to define exactly what the position is. And I do think that we've seen a sapping of confidence in the democratic system here in this country. I spent 3 years as Foreign Secretary opposing a referendum on the grounds that we're a parliamentary democracy and it was for Parliament to decide these things. I'm now in the position of saying you can't undo a referendum unless you have another one, which can seem paradoxical, but which I think is necessary. All the while, unless you're honest about the trade-offs, the markets notice it, and the electorate notice it too.